You buy a 3-row SUV to haul a young family. Pick the right one, and it will still be running after those kids have their own license, their own car, and their own kids. These 10 are the family haulers that refuse to wear out, and number 1 is the smartest long-haul buy. Number 10, Hyundai Veracruz, 2007 to 2012. Some family SUVs get ignored so hard that the used price becomes the whole reason to look. And the Hyundai Veracruz is that kind of quiet, cheaper, forgotten family hauler. Nobody brings one up first when a dad asks for 3 rows. They talk Pilot, Highlander, Tahoe, Sequoia, and whatever is sitting shiny at the dealer. But the Veracruz gives you 7 passenger seating, wide rear doors, soft seats, decent second-row comfort, and a ride that feels nicer than the price. The 3.8-liter Lambda V6 is why it makes the list. It is naturally aspirated, smooth, and not trying to be a tiny turbo motor dragging too much family weight. The 6-speed automatic needs inspection, but the basic drivetrain can pile on miles when oil changes, coolant, transmission service, and timing chain health are respected. We have to be honest here. This is not a Sequoia-level legend with giant public mileage proof. The high-mile examples exist in listings and owner circles, but the Veracruz sits lower because the proof is not as deep as Toyota, Honda, or GM full-size SUVs. That is exactly why it can be cheap. Current prices usually run around $3,500 to $8,000 for clean drivers, with tired high-mile examples cheaper and low-mile limited trims higher. The family's practicality is real if your third row is mostly for kids, short trips, cousins, or backup seating. The cargo space behind the third row is not huge, but folded down. It becomes useful for groceries, strollers, sports bags, and weekend runs. Inspect warm transmission shifts, timing chain noise, oil leaks, alternator behavior, air conditioning, rear climate, suspension clunks, power liftgate operation if equipped, brake feel, tire wear, and rust underneath. If the seller cannot explain the service history, do not let the soft leather fool you. Choose this one when you need cheap 3-row space, decent comfort, and a family SUV that does not carry Toyota or Honda pricing. I would buy the cleanest one, not the fanciest one. A base clean Veracruz beats a loaded, neglected one every time. The trick is accepting what it is, a value family tool, not a forever icon. One family detail I like is how easy it feels for older passengers to climb in compared with lower wagons or tall, full-size trucks. The second row does the daily work, the third row handles the backup passengers, and the ride stays calm enough for long family drives. I would still check the rear seat hardware because broken latches turn a cheap family SUV into an annoying weekend repair. I also like checking how the Veracruz handles a full cabin because cheap family SUVs reveal weakness when loaded. If it squats, shifts poorly, or runs warm with passengers, the deal is already warning you. The Veracruz is the cheap family sleeper, but number 9 is the rugged oddball that built its name far away from school pickup lines. If this kind of family SUV truth helps, subscribe. We find the reliable choices before the wrong one drains your wallet. Number 9. Mitsubishi Montero, 2003 to 2006. A forgotten Mitsubishi can look risky from the curb until you remember the rest of the world used these trucks like rugged, stubborn, real tools. The Montero is not the normal family answer, and that is part of its appeal. Under the Pajero name, this platform earned a global reputation in rough places where vehicles are not traded every few years just because the screen looks old. It uses a stout V6, real 4-wheel drive hardware, upright visibility, and an older school layout that feels tougher than most soft crossovers. It is not fast. It is not fuel-sipping. Parts are not as easy as a Tahoe or Pilot, but a cared-for Montero can outlive family duty because the drivetrain was built for more than mall parking lots. Timing belt service, cooling health, fluids, transfer case use, and rust control decide whether it is a keeper or a headache. High-mile proof comes from the global Pajero life, off-road work, rough country ownership, long-term use in places where people fix trucks instead of replacing them. In family terms, you get 7 seats, a high driving position, good glass, real trail confidence, and a third row that works best for kids, pets, errands, and backup duty. Current used prices usually run around $6,000 to $16,000, with clean, low-mile examples higher because supply is thin. That thin supply matters. Before buying, make sure parts access is realistic where you live. If every repair requires a long wait, the truck may be tough, but still annoying. Inspect timing belt and water pump history, cooling system, transfer case operation, four-wheel drive modes, frame rust, suspension wear, coolant leaks, power accessories, tire condition, and any warning lights. Check for trail abuse, dented underbody parts, sloppy steering, and cheap lift work. Choose this one when you want rugged three-row utility, older school toughness, and something stronger than the usual crossover. It is not the easiest family SUV on this list, but it has character and real bones. I like it for the dad who needs 7 seats sometimes, bad road confidence often, and does not panic when a vehicle feels mechanical. If you want soft, silent, and common, skip it. If you want a different family hauler with global proof, keep looking. Family buyers also need to think about fuel stops and parking. The Montero feels narrow enough to manage, but it is older, taller, and more truck-like than most crossovers. That can be good for bad roads and snow, but less friendly for tight school lots. I would test it with the whole family mindset: doors, seat belts, cargo floor, rear air, and visibility. The Montero is the oddball trail family rig, but number 8 is the American parts counter king for big families. Number 8. Chevrolet Suburban and GMC Yukon XL, 2000 to 2006, 5.3 V8. Sometimes the best family SUV is not clever at all. Sometimes it is just big, simple, honest, and easy to fix. The Chevrolet Suburban and GMC Yukon XL from the GMT 800 years are exactly that. These trucks were built before family SUVs turned into rolling tablets, and that is why many mechanics still like them. The 5.3-liter Vortec V8 is the heart of the case. It is not exotic, not delicate, and not rare. It sits on a platform that every GM mechanic, parts store, and junkyard already understands. The 4-speed automatic needs care, and rust can ruin the whole truck. But the basic package can take brutal family use when oil, coolant, transmission fluid, brake lines, and underbody condition are managed. Long life data support the Suburban as one of the SUVs most likely to reach very high mileage, and real life backs it up. You see these with faded paint, worn seats, old Cheerios under the third row, and engines still pulling highway miles. Family practicality is where the GM twins crush smaller choices. Real third row room, room behind the third row, wide seats, huge cargo capacity, towing ability, and enough space for kids, luggage, dogs, coolers, grandparents, and half the garage. It is a road trip machine. Fuel economy is the tax you pay, so do not pretend this is cheap at the pump. The savings come from parts cost, repair familiarity, space efficiency, and not having to buy a newer giant SUV. Current used prices usually run around $4,000 to $12,000, with rust-free four-wheel drive examples in clean LT or SLT trims higher. Inspect warm transmission shifts, transfer case pump rub, brake lines, fuel lines, frame rust, rocker rust, intake leaks, water pump, rear main leaks, front suspension, rear climate, power windows, and four-wheel drive operation. Choose this one when you want maximum family space, cheap American parts, and a 3-row SUV built for long highway miles. I would rather buy a plain, clean Suburban with records than a shiny lifted one with big tires and mystery repairs. Size is the reason to buy it, but condition is the reason it lasts. This is also the one that makes sense when your family hauls more than people. Band gear, hunting gear, camping bins, folding chairs, luggage, and tools disappear into the back without a packing argument. That matters over the years. A smaller SUV may save fuel, but if it cannot carry the family's stuff, the savings feel fake fast. The GM twins bring the space, but number 7 gives you Japanese luxury bones at normal family SUV money. Number 7. Acura MDX, 2007 to 2013. Old luxury can scare family buyers, but the right Acura MDX is really a practical, undervalued Honda family SUV wearing nicer clothes. That is why it lands here. A used MDX gives you 7 seats, a comfortable first row, a strong second row, a kid-friendly third row, a cabin that still feels better than the price, and all-weather confidence from SH all-wheel drive. The 3.7-liter J-Series V6 is strong when maintained, and later examples with the 6-speed automatic need clean shifts and a fluid history. This is not a neglect-proof SUV. Timing belt service matters. Transmission service matters. SH all-wheel drive fluid matters. Oil consumption should be checked. but a documented MDX can run deep into high mileage because the basic engine family is familiar, the platform is strong, and Honda and Acura shops know the service path. Longevity data shows the MDX has an above-average chance of reaching major mileage milestones, and owner examples past 200,000 miles are common when timing belt and fluid service are handled. The first owner paid for leather, navigation, safety, and Acura comfort. The second or third owner gets the useful life after luxury depreciation did the damage. Current used prices usually run around $7,000 to $14,000, with clean 2013 examples often near the upper end. Inspect timing belt and water pump history, SH all-wheel drive service, warm transmission shifts, oil use, motor mounts, suspension arms, air conditioning, electronics, tire wear, rear differential behavior, and rust. If the tires are mismatched, the transmission bangs, or the rear end groans, slow down. Family practicality is good, but not huge. The third row is for kids, carpool duty, and short adult trips, not tall adults on a 5-hour ride. Choose this one when you want undervalued Japanese luxury, family comfort, and all-weather confidence without buying a giant SUV. I like the MDX for buyers who want a nicer daily driver but still care about service access. It feels more expensive than a Pilot, but it still speaks a language many shops understand. Buy records, not leather shine. The MDX also works because it feels easy to drive for its size. It is not a giant truck, so parking lots, grocery runs, and daily traffic are less stressful than in a full-size SUV. The downside is that luxury features age. A dead navigation screen, weak air conditioning, or tired suspension can steal the value if you ignore them. The Acura is the smart luxury value play, but number 6 brings big V8 towing with fewer fancy tricks. Number 6. Nissan Armada, 2008 to 2015. A used Armada burns fuel, and there is no honest way around that, but it also hides a strong, simple truck-based V8 that families often overlook. This is the full-size value play for buyers who need towing, 8-passenger seating, a big second row, a useful third row, and enough power to move the whole crew without strain. The 5.6-liter VK56 V8 is the main reason to care. It is tied to Nissan's truck platform, makes real torque, avoids turbo complexity, and does not rely on a tiny engine working too hard. Armadas and Titans show up with high-mile V8 examples in owner circles and used listings, and the engine has a solid reputation when oil, cooling, transmission service, and rear differential care are handled. It is not a fuel saver. It is not the cheapest tire and brake SUV here, but compared with Sequoia prices, it can be a serious value if you understand what you are buying. Current used prices usually run around $7,000 to $16,000, with clean lower-mile platinum trims higher. Family practicality is strong. 8 seats, high ride height, a commanding view, strong tow rating, comfortable highway manners, and enough room for sports gear, vacation bags, and weekend projects. The trade-off is gallons. If your driving is all city, think hard before buying one. If you tow, road trip, or need real space, it starts making sense. Inspect exhaust manifold leaks, radiator and cooling health, transmission shifts, rear differential noise, brake wear, front suspension, rust, four-wheel drive operation, fuel gauge behavior, air conditioning, rear heat, and power features. Listen for ticking from manifolds, and check that the cooling system holds temperature under real driving, not just a short loop. Choose this one when you want towing strength, V8 durability, and a cheaper full-size family SUV than a Sequoia. I would avoid any Armada with oversized wheels, rough idle, weak cooling, or a seller who says the exhaust tick is nothing. Big engines can last, but heat, neglect, and cheap repairs still win if you ignore them. A clean Armada is not subtle, but it is useful. It hauls people, pulls weight, and feels built for adults who need space more than fuel bragging. I also watch the way an Armada sits. Sagging rear suspension, worn shocks, nosedive, or uneven tire wear tell me the truck has worked hard. That is not automatically bad, but it changes the price. Big family SUVs earn their keep through work. You just want proof that the work was followed by maintenance, not excuses. The Armada brings muscle, but number 5 proves a hybrid family SUV can also live a very long time. Number 5. Toyota Highlander Hybrid, 2008 to 2013. A hybrid 3-row SUV sounds risky to some buyers, but Toyota built this Highlander Hybrid like a long-term, efficient family tool. This is not the biggest SUV here, and the third row is more kid-focused than adult-friendly. But the ownership math is strong. The Highlander Hybrid combines Toyota V6 power with a hybrid system designed for low-stress family miles. The system can reduce brake wear, improve fuel economy, and take the load off the gas engine during everyday driving. The key is battery health, cooling fan cleanliness, inverter cooling, and proof that the vehicle was maintained like a hybrid, not ignored like a regular beater. Recent longevity data puts the Highlander Hybrid among the strongest vehicles for reaching 250,000 miles, which supports the long-haul argument. It is not just theory. You see Toyota hybrids running huge mileage. Because the system is conservative, the gas engine does not work as hard in stop-and-go driving, and regenerative braking reduces some brake wear. Current used prices usually run around $7,000 to $14,000 depending on year, mileage, trim, and hybrid battery condition. Family practicality is balanced. 7 seats, easy entry, soft ride, good visibility, decent cargo when the third row is folded, and a size that fits normal garages better than full-size trucks. Fuel economy is the reason many buyers come back to it. While a Sequoia or Armada drinks like a truck, the Highlander Hybrid keeps family duty much more sensible. Inspect hybrid battery health with a scan if possible. Cooling fan cleanliness, inverter cooling, brake condition, water pump, suspension wear, all-wheel drive behavior, tire condition, and timing belt service on earlier 3.3 models. Also check air conditioning, rear hatch, power features, and accident history. Choose this one when you want lower fuel bills, Toyota durability, and 3-row family use without full-size SUV thirst. I like it for families who need the third row sometimes, not every day. If you always carry 8 people, buy bigger. If you need school duty, road trips, and better mileage, this one makes sense. The main mistake is fearing the hybrid without inspecting it. A healthy Toyota hybrid can be brilliant. A neglected one with a dirty battery fan and mystery lights can become costly. Another family win is how normal it feels. Some hybrids make buyers feel like they need special training, but the Highlander drives like a quiet Toyota with better fuel math. The kids do not care about the system under the floor. They care that the doors open easily, the ride is soft, and the cabin stays peaceful on long drives. The Highlander Hybrid saves fuel, but number 4 is the old-school Ford that wins with room, towing, and a tough automatic. Subscribe if you want family SUV advice without dealership noise. Engines, transmissions, rust, and records matter more than shiny paint. Number 4. Ford Expedition, 2009 to 2014, 5.4 V8. A big Ford family SUV can be a bargain when buyers fear the badge more than they inspect the truck. And the Expedition proves that condition matters more than internet shouting. The later third-generation Expedition gives you 8 seats, a wide cabin, available EL extended length, real towing ability, a useful third row, and a 6-speed automatic that is a strong part of the story. The 5.4-liter 3-valve V8 is the caution point, not something to blindly praise. It can last when oil changes are strict, cam phaser noise is addressed, spark plug history is known, and cooling stays healthy. It can also punish neglect. That is why this pick is not for lazy buyers. It is for people who inspect. The long life proof is practical. Family rigs, fleet use, police-related duty, towing, road trips, and high-mileage used listings where the trucks keep doing work. Current used prices usually run around $6,000 to $15,000, with clean EL, limited, or 4-wheel drive examples higher. The family's usefulness is huge. If you have tall kids, strollers, sports bags, coolers, dogs, and weekend trailers, the Expedition feels like a real tool instead of a cramped compromise. The EL version adds cargo room behind the third row, which matters more than people think. Inspect cam phaser noise on cold and warm starts, spark plug service history, transmission shifts, rear air suspension if equipped, front end wear, rust, brake lines, rear climate, cooling system, power running boards if equipped, and tire wear. If it rattles at start, wanders on the highway, or shifts harshly, price the risk before you smile at the space. Choose this one when you need a big family space, towing ability, and a cheaper full-size SUV than the Toyota. I would also be careful with neglected luxury trims. Power running boards, rear air suspension, heated seats, and electronics are nice when they work, annoying when they fail. A simpler, cleaner Expedition can be smarter than a loaded, tired one. The 6-speed automatic gives it better road manners than older trucks, and that helps on family trips. But oil history is everything. A 5.4 that was fed clean oil can be useful. One that was stretched between services can become a noisy warning. A good expedition also gives you one thing many midsize SUVs cannot: breathing room. When children become teenagers, space becomes a real durability feature because cramped cabins get abused faster. Bigger doors, wider seats, and more cargo room mean less fighting, less seat kicking, and fewer broken trim pieces over the years. The Ford brings brute room, but number 3 gives you Toyota truck bones wrapped in Lexus comfort. Number 3. Lexus GX 470, 2003 to 2009. The GX 470 looks like a luxury SUV at the grocery store, but underneath it is a tough, proven Toyota truck that refuses to quit. That mix is exactly why it earns a top 3 spot. The 4.7-liter 2UZ FEV8 is the engine that makes the GX special. It is naturally aspirated, understressed, smooth, and shared with some of Toyota's toughest trucks and SUVs. The 5-speed automatic is strong when serviced, and the body-on-frame layout gives it more strength than most soft family crossovers. The Lexus GX appears in long-life data with a strong chance of reaching very high mileage, and the engine has a deep reputation for 300,000-mile service when timing belt and cooling are maintained. Family practicality is more specific. You get 3 rows, high seating position, great visibility, a strong 4-wheel drive system, comfortable front seats, good road trip manners, and a quiet cabin. The 3rd row is smaller and side-folding, so it is better for kids than adults, and it eats cargo room when raised. If your family always needs maximum 3rd row space, a Sequoia or Suburban works better. But if you want durability, comfort, and rough road confidence, the GX is special. Current used prices usually run around $9,000 to $20,000, with rust-free, clean history examples holding value hard. Inspect timing belt and water pump proof, frame rust, radiator condition, valve cover leaks, air suspension, transfer case operation, center differential lock, brake condition, tire wear, suspension bushings, and 4-wheel drive use. A neglected GX can be expensive because Lexus parts and truck parts both cost money. A maintained one feels like it was built for longer ownership from day one. Choose this one when you want Lexus comfort, Toyota truck durability, and a 3-row SUV that can handle rough roads. I like it for the family that does not need a bus, but wants something tougher than a crossover. It can run errands all week, handle snow, take a dirt road, and still feel calm on the interstate. The downside is fuel economy and cargo layout. Do not buy it expecting minivan space. Buy it because the drivetrain, frame, and build quality are serious. Another thing to remember is that the GX is tougher than it is spacious. That sounds odd, but it matters. Buy it for durability, bad weather confidence, and quality feel. Not because you need the biggest 3rd row. A clean GX can feel premium for years, but the wrong family may outgrow the cabin before the drivetrain gets tired. The GX is the luxury truck pick, but number 2 is the boxy Honda that families quietly keep forever. Number 2. Honda Pilot, 2009 to 2015. The boxy Pilot does not look fancy, and that is exactly why practical families keep driving it forever without making a big speech about it. This is one of the smartest mid-size 3-row SUVs for real life because Honda focused on space, visibility, easy access, and a drivetrain that makes sense. The 3.5-liter J-Series V6 and 5-speed automatic are the simple, proven setup here. Timing belt service matters, transmission fluid matters, variable cylinder management-related oil use should be checked, engine mounts, rear differential service on 4-wheel drive models, and cooling history matter too. But the basic engine can run deep into high mileage when maintained because it is not a turbo, not a CVT, and not a tiny engine dragging too much weight. Longevity studies show the Honda Pilot has a stronger than average chance of reaching 250,000 miles, and owner examples past 200,000 are everywhere. Family practicality is where it wins. 8 seats, wide doors, easy kid access, a flat floor feel, a huge center console, good visibility, decent cargo room, and a cabin that accepts family mess without feeling fragile. It is built for school runs, beach trips, football practice, and long highway miles. Current used prices usually run around $7,000 to $15,000, with clean 2015 EXL or touring trims near the top. Inspect timing belt and water pump records, transmission shifts, rear differential service, engine mounts, oil consumption, air conditioning, suspension clunks, tire wear, brake feel, rust, and power accessories. I would drive it fully warm and make sure the transmission stays smooth. I would also check how the rear seats fold, because a family SUV with broken latches becomes annoying fast. Choose this one when you want reliable V6 power, 8-seat practicality, and a family SUV that feels easy to live with. The Pilot is not the most exciting SUV here. Good. Excitement is not what gets kids to college and back. What matters is that it starts, cools, shifts, stops, and swallows family life without needing drama. I like the second generation because it feels honest, boxy shape, useful cabin, strong engine, normal tires, and no fake luxury mission. If you need real family duty without full-size fuel bills, the Pilot makes a very strong case. The Pilot also has a plainness that becomes a strength. The interior is not delicate, the controls are easy to understand, and the seating layout makes sense when everyone is late on a Monday morning. It feels like Honda studied real family chaos and built something that would take it without becoming fragile. The Pilot is the midsize family hero, but number one is the 3-row SUV with the strongest long-mile proof of all. Number 1. Toyota Sequoia, 2008 to 2017. If one 3-row SUV deserves the phrase outlives the kids, the Toyota Sequoia is the one I would point to first. It is not the cheapest. It is not the best on fuel. It is not small, easy to park, or gentle at the pump. But when we are talking about family SUVs that survive 2 decades, the Sequoia puts the evidence on the table. The 5.7-liter 3URF EV, 8 and 6-speed automatic are the big reasons. The engine is strong, naturally aspirated, and built for heavy-duty Toyota truck duty. The transmission is stout. The drivetrain is simple compared with newer turbo family SUVs. And the platform is designed to handle weight, towing, road trips, kids, dogs, cargo, and years of family punishment. Recent longevity data puts the Sequoia at the top among regular vehicles for the chance of reaching 250,000 miles, and that matches what shops see: high-mile Sequoias that still feel ready to work. Family practicality is excellent. True 8-passenger seating, adult usable 3rd row, big rear doors, sliding 2nd row, strong towing ability, huge cabin space, and real road trip comfort. It is the vehicle that hauls kids when they are small, furniture when they move out, and grandkids when life comes full circle. Current used prices usually run around $13,000 to $30,000, with earlier high-mile examples cheaper and clean later models higher. Inspect cam tower leaks, water pump, radiator, transmission shifts, 4-wheel drive operation, frame rust, lower ball joints, suspension wear, brake condition, rear hatch operation, power features, tire quality, and service records. Big Toyota does not mean free ownership. Tires, brakes, fuel, and suspension parts still cost real money. Choose this one when you want the smartest overall 3-row SUV for long family ownership, and you can live with the fuel cost. It earns number 1 because space, drivetrain strength, documented longevity, towing ability, and family usefulness all line up. A clean Sequoia can haul kids, then haul those kids' furniture, then keep going after everyone else moved on. That is the whole title in one truck. I would buy the cleanest one I could afford, not the newest one with the most shine. Rust-free underside, boring service history, stable temperature, clean shifts, and normal family wear are the signs. If it smells hot, wanders, knocks, or has mystery lights, keep shopping. The Sequoia is proven, powerful, and family-ready, but only the maintained ones deserve the reputation. A Sequoia should feel like it has more truck than the family can wear out. When it feels loose, hot, or patched together, the reputation has already been spent. The Sequoia is also a rare SUV, where size and longevity support each other. The engine is not struggling, the transmission is not hunting every second, and the chassis feels like it was built with extra margin. That margin is what families feel after years of luggage, heat, hills, trailers, and long drives. If this saves you from one costly family SUV mistake, subscribe. We show the long-haul truth before the dealership story. Buyer cheat sheet. The Hyundai Veracruz is the cheapest hidden family option. Best when the budget is tight and the records are clean. Mitsubishi Montero is the rugged oddball. Best when you want real 4-wheel drive toughness and accept parts planning. Chevrolet Suburban and GMC Yukon XL are the maximum space picks. Best when cargo room matters as much as seating. Acura MDX is the value luxury family pick, best when timing belt and SH all-wheel drive service are documented. Nissan Armada is the cheaper V8 tow SUV, best when fuel cost does not scare you. Toyota Highlander Hybrid is the fuel-saving family pick, best when hybrid health checks out. Ford Expedition is the big American value pick, best when cam phaser noise, plugs, and transmission are clean. Lexus GX 470 is the luxury truck pick, best when you want Toyota toughness with comfort. Honda Pilot is the practical V6 family hero, best when you want 8 seats without full-size weight. Toyota Sequoia is the smartest overall long-haul buy, best when space, durability, and reliability matter most. Main rule: do not buy a 3-row SUV because the seats fold nicely in a parking lot. Buy the engine, transmission, records, rust condition, cooling system, and real family usefulness. A good family SUV should start cold, shift cleanly, cool properly, stop straight, carry people without excuses, and not smell hot after a long drive. Check the boring things before you fall for leather, screens, and shiny paint. Timing belts, water pumps, transmission fluid, rear differential service, brake lines, rust, tires, suspension, air conditioning, rear climate, power hatch parts, and seat latches all matter. A family SUV gets used hard in quiet ways. Doors slam, seats fold, kids spill drinks, cargo areas get scratched, brakes heat up on vacation trips, tires wear from school runs and highway miles. That is normal. What is not normal is overheating, harsh shifts, low coolant, mismatched tires, hidden rust, dead rear climate, or a seller who acts bothered by an inspection. One more rule: never let third-row seating distract you from total ownership cost. A family SUV needs tires, brakes, fluids, batteries, shocks, and sometimes timing belt work. Price those before you celebrate the deal. Also, test it as your family will use it. Fold every seat, open every door, run the rear air. Load something bulky if you can. If the SUV already feels tired in the driveway, it will feel worse on a trip. I also tell buyers to compare service records against family use. If the SUV hauled kids for years, receipts should show brakes, tires, fluids, and cooling work. No records do not always mean disaster, but it means the price needs to leave room for catch-up maintenance. Smart money buys proof, not stories. Last test: bring someone who is not emotionally attached to the badge. A calm second opinion can save you from a pretty SUV with ugly repairs hiding under it. That boring voice often protects the wallet better than excitement when the listing looks almost too perfect online. The right 3-row SUV will not be perfect, but it will feel honest. It will drive straight, cool, steady, shift smoothly, and not make excuses. Click the next video before these family haulers get harder to find. Subscribe for reliable engines, cheaper repairs, and used SUV advice that protects your money.